Moving on. Oh, this is like this. Okay, so this is a continuation of a case that we had read a few months ago. We're going to Washington, D.C. This is a part 2 of this case. It says, teen sentenced for fatally stabbing 16-year-old in fight over sweet and sour sauce. What we read when it first was reported was the actual occurrence, when it happened and the reason why. But now it seems like the teen was sentenced. So it's a True Crime Daily published February 1st, 2024. And it says, a 16-year-old girl was sentenced this week for stabbing her friends last year during an argument over McDonald's sweet and sour sauce. WUSA TV reports a judge ordered the teenager, who remains unnamed, to stay in custody of the Department of Youth Rehabilitation Services until she is 21, which is the maximum sentence she could have received. She pleaded guilty in December to voluntary manslaughter while armed and carrying a dangerous weapon. In the early morning hours of August 27, 2023, Metropolitan D.C. Police Department of officers responded to a hospital regarding a juvenile needing treatment due to stab wounds. The victim, 16-year-old Naima Ligon, died from her injuries. The same day, investigators arrested the suspect on a charge of second-degree murder while armed. The suspect reportedly had a knife in her possession when she was arrested. According to WTOP-TV, Ligon, the suspect, and 3 others drove into Washington, D.C. from Maryland to attend a party. Afterward, they went to McDonald's on 14th Street and U Street. The teens were inside a car and got into a fight. The teen suspect reportedly said Ligon and another passenger beat her up, so she stabbed Ligon in self-defense. WUSA reports Ligon was stabbed in the chest and abdomen with a 7.5-inch knife. The teen reportedly told police after the stabbing that the fight was about the sauce, saying, "I asked for more sauce and she had an attitude." The suspect reportedly told her friends in a text, "They shouldn't have jumped me. I don't give a fuck." Ligon's father, Wylis Ligon, reportedly said at the sentencing, "I believe a form of justice was formed today, but not justice at all because we still don't have her." The teen suspect also spoke and said, "I would have changed everything if I could go back to that day." Yeah, it was sad then, still sad now. For probably one of the dumbest reasons ever, arguing over a sweet and sour sauce. And again, you would think that this isn't something that happens. This is like a one-off kind of thing, but nah, man. People commit crimes for dumb reasons like this, or like less than this, like the dumb, petty shit that you would think that no one would actually go out of their way to commit a full-blown crime against someone that has an impact on other people's lives, and you will serve time for that shit. Like, you're gonna be arrested. You're gonna go to jail for that. Very sad. Let's see if we can find a video related to this case. So this was back in August 29th. That's when the original article on True Crime Daily was posted, and I remember reading it. So, yeah, this was back in August. Probably like 5 months ago, 5-6 months ago. Yeah. Let's see what they have to say now. Okay, this is WUSA9.com website in Washington, D.C. Shout out Washington, D.C.
All right, also, just in the last 2 hours, a 16-year-old has been sentenced for the stabbing death of Naima
I'm going to get some water.
Ligon. Ligon was stabbed outside of a D.C. McDonald's last summer after a fight over sweet and sour sauce. Glad you're with us tonight. I'm Adam Longo.
And I'm Simone D'Alba. A judge sentenced the teenager to the max. She will be in custody until her 21st birthday. Delia Gonzalez is live outside D.C. Superior Court, where the victim's family made impact statements today. Delia, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Adam. It was a long and very emotional day in court. We heard those impact statements, as you said. We watched a 4-minute tribute video to Naima. We reviewed surveillance video from that night, text messages, and even the police interrogation, all to bring us back to that 40-second fight outside of the McDonald's that night that ended in a deadly stabbing. You know, Naima's mom tells me she wanted her daughter's killer to be charged as an adult for first-degree murder, but if you remember, the 16-year-old cut a plea deal with the Attorney General's office back in December for voluntary manslaughter, and today, just hours ago, the judge sentenced her to the maximum restricted commitment until she's 21 years old. Naima Lagan broke curfew that fateful night in August, leaving her hometown of Waldorf for a house party in D.C. Now, the group of girls went to McDonald's on U Street after the party. Prosecutors say even though that verbal argument started in the car over sweet and sour sauce, the 16-year-old escalated things by stepping out of the car, initiating a fight. 3 girls, including Naima, started fighting when the 16-year-old, we're told, pulled out a 7-inch pocket knife, according to prosecutors, and started swinging it towards Naima. You can see this in that surveillance video. The video shows the girls retreating back to the car when the 16-year-old grabs Naima by the arm, turns her around, and stabs her in the chest. Now, the defense says the 16-year-old was triggered by what she perceived was a 2-on-1 fight, was reacting to a series of traumatic events that she experienced a month before the assault, including a death that was very close to her. The defense argued that unprocessed grief caused her to lash out. They wanted to give her 1 year of probation in order to give her wraparound services in the community. But today the judge said, listen, this young lady is going to need intensive therapy for several years before it's safe for her to go back into the community.
Form of justice was served today, but really not justice at all, really, because we still don't have her.
I'm afraid for my kids' safety in this area at this point. I don't feel like there's much faith in the judicial system and people in the world. And I think kids that get a slap on the wrist have no reason to not do the things that they're doing in the city right now.
I can tell you the judge even got emotional at one point, and of course that led the family to get emotional and break down, seeing the judge reacting to pictures of Naima in court. The judge delivered her sentence and in part said, quote, "It is hard for me to understand how someone with no criminal background, with a good support system, could so viciously and brutally murder somebody, ostensibly a friend, over sweet and sour sauce. It's hard to make sense of it." That's the very latest here outside of D.C. Superior Court. Delia Gonzalez, WUSA 9.
Boy, it is hard. You just feel for the family in this absolutely senseless, horrific act.
They're not wrong. They're not wrong at all. I mean, think about it. Sweet and sour sauce. I mean, come on. That's, like I mentioned before, like in the bottom of the list of reasons for you to commit such a horrendous crime. Because, I mean, if the bare minimum, if it would have at least just been kept at a fight, it'd be like, oh, you got into a fist fight because of sweet and sour sauce? That sucks. Come on now. But you're crossing that threshold from, like, something mundane and, like, whatever, man. You just had, like, a fight with someone to a crime, like, this being committed where there's someone that died, and now there's like police investigations, and your life is never going to be the same. That family's life is never going to be the same, and you will forever have that product associated to you. Like, oh yeah, remember that case of that chick that stabbed her friend because of sweet and sour sauce? Bam. I'm telling you, human beings need to chill. I've mentioned it before. Say it again. Let's calm down. There's so many reasons to live. So many reasons to certainly be here. Horrible, but nonetheless,